There's a lot of people here. Wow, okay. So a little bit of background about myself and Expired Listings and who me and my team are. We work the Philadelphia market, both the city and the suburban Philadelphia market. We have a team of 5 salespeople, 2 of which are brand new. And this year, we're going to close over 260 transactions, which is over $80 million in volume. Expired listings have been huge for us. Before I started working Expireds, I only had one lead source. It was my database. That was it. And the business was plateauing very clearly. So when my coach encouraged me to do this, we really committed and went very deep on the system. And last year, we generated over $300,000 in GCI. This year, it'll be over $400,000 just from this lead source alone. So we know what the backstory is. What are the tactics, the resources, and the secret? So tactic number 1 is using the script. So what I'm talking about here is not just reading through the questions like most people do. I'm talking about standing up like I am right now, being in command, and focused and engaged in the conversation. I'm talking about using body language like they teach you at Sales Edge. So point to yourself when you say things like, when do you plan on interviewing the right agent for the job of selling your home? Karate chop at the end of the sentences to downswing and sound confident and not question yourself. And most importantly, internalize the script. Know it backwards and forwards, because these conversations are going to go all over the place. You're going to get objections. They're going to go sideways. If you know the script, that gets you one step closer to the appointment. And that's the only goal here, is to get the appointment. That's all you're looking for, is a face-to-face meeting. So tactic number 2 is going to be time blocking your morning routine to work Expireds every day, no matter what. The mistake I see a lot of agents make is they schedule appointments when they're supposed to be prospecting, or they're negotiating an offer, or they're dealing with a home inspection, or doing something that is going to be there after you're done. There is no time more important in the day than lead generation, because that fills your pipeline. So how do you protect that time? 1, actually schedule it in your calendar so you don't book another appointment. 2, put your phone on Do Not Disturb. So you've probably seen that little moon thing on the iPhone. That's going to shut off all the notifications. So no texts, no emails, none of that nonsense. And lastly, on your computer screen, you want to close down everything. All that should be there is your dialer and the MLS. That's it. No email, no social media, none of the stuff that's going to take you off the game plan of setting appointments. That's all we're looking to do here. So what's the third tactic? And that's going to be massive amounts of follow-up. What I know is that less than 5% of the time do I actually schedule an appointment on the first call. It's over 95% of the time that I schedule it on call number 6, call number 15, call number 22, whatever. I'm calling them when no one else is, because every agent, they usually stop after 2 or 3 attempts. I mean, who's done that here? I'm sure a lot of you have. You give it a couple shots, and that's it. Now, the calling moves the needle the most, but there's a couple ways you can supplement this system so when you follow up like you should, you can schedule the appointment and they know who you are. The first is going to be direct mail. So I want you to think of social proof. These postcards I'm talking about, they're all over Tom's site. I mean, they're everywhere. It's pretty simple. This home was on the market over 6 months with another agent. They hired me. We sold it in 2 weeks. We got 2 offers. It sold above the asking price. What expired listing doesn't want that experience? They were on the market. Their home didn't sell. So show them you can deliver it. And I'm not talking about 1 or 2 attempts here with this. This is like 9 to 12 pieces of mail over a 2-month period. And lastly, and I would rank this a far third, is email. Email can be very effective when it comes to not being able to schedule the appointment on the first time you talk to them. Send them an email. Tell them what you're about. Send them to your Zillow reviews. And then call them back when you say you will. That's the biggest mistake people make, is they don't follow up like they're supposed to. So what are the resources to utilize with these tactics? So resource number 1 is going to be a data system with a dialer. Embarrassingly, I did not use a dialer early on. My coach at the time, great guy, very experienced in this, he almost dropped an F-bomb on me on the call when he found out I wasn't using the dialer. He was disgusted, because you can only call like 20 or 30 people an hour when you're manually dialing and leaving these long voicemails. So instead, you can pre-record a voicemail. So that's 30 to 45 seconds right away you're getting back. It's dialing it for you. And all the information's already looked up and found, so you know what homes are coming off the market and what the phone numbers are. So this boosts efficiency and effectiveness. Always leave the voicemail. I am not a secret agent. I want people to know how many times I call them, because that's how much I want their business. And what's going to be resource number 2? I want you to think about video here. So either a video text or a BombBomb email. So BombBomb is a program that embeds the email or the video into the email, so you're not sending some huge attachment no one ever can open anyway. This is going to get you face-to-face with those folks. And when you follow up with them like you're supposed to, they're going to feel like they already know you. There's a lot of agents out there that are going after these, but none of them are doing this combination and this aggressive follow-up that's happening. So obviously the idea here is follow-up and appointments. So what's the secret? Here's what I know about expired listings. There is a limiting belief, or what Tom would call a bullshit story, that these people are overpriced. They're not motivated. They don't want to sell. They're not going to listen, or they're just simply assholes. And that might be the case in some instances, but look at their actions. They interviewed agents. They signed a listing contract with somebody. Then they took their home to the market, had all these people come through. They wanted to sell. They just picked the wrong agent. So once you understand what their mindset is and that it's a bunch of nonsense, what the preconceived notion about expireds is, the secret is there's only 3 objections. The first is we're going to relist with the same agent. The second is we're going to sell it on our own. And the third is that we're not going to move. And if you can handle those objections, you'll get more appointments, you're going to get more listings, and make a lot more money than $100,000 working this system, because it's pretty obvious. So who wants to hear the objections? How to handle them? Anybody?
Okay.
Can you help me out?
I'm so glad you brought that up. You guys got your recorders on? Tommy, how many expired listings will you list this year?
This year we've done 40 already. I'm budgeting for another 25 between now and the end of the year.
Okay, so 65 listings, and there's only 3 objections you got to handle. Only 3 objections you guys got to handle. You guys ready? So, Tom, we hear what you're saying, but look, we're going to list with our same agent. We've known her forever. She's fantastic, but we appreciate you following up like this.
Sure. Well, I get you have some loyalty to that agent because you've been working with him for a while. Can I tell you why it makes me nervous? You're going to just relist with them blindly.
Nervous?
It makes me very nervous because what I know is your home was on the market over 6 months. The average time on the market right now is between 47 and 62 days.
Really?
Absolutely. So your agent should have sold the home 3 times, and she didn't sell it once. So what do you think is going to happen differently this time around?
That's pretty good, yes? Let me go a different direction. Tom, I look at all you agents and I go online and I see all these sites. I think we're just going to try and sell it on our own. I mean, we know we need to market it more, but ultimately everyone's told us we need to drop the price. So we're just going to drop the price and sell it on our own.
Sure. Can I share a concern that I have with that about your mindset there?
A concern?
Absolutely, I got a concern. I'm trying to help you here, and that's why I called. So what I know is that of all the homes that sold this year in our marketplace, over 98% involved both a listing agent and a buyer's agent, meaning less than 2% only had a buyer agent or no agent at all. And those homes sold anywhere from 9 to 17% less than what they could have gotten had they had a professional agent like me marketing the property. Do you really want to leave that amount of money on the table?
Guys, okay, how many of you would say soft or strong? Strong. 9 to 17%, really?
There's a site called Keeping Current Matters. I'll send you the slide and all the data.
Ooh, big shout out to Keeping Current Matters. You know what? Actually, Tom, I got to tell you, everything you're saying sounds great and you're fantastic, but I think at this point, my wife and I are just frustrated. We're just not moving. We're done. We're done with this whole thing.
I'd be frustrated too if my home didn't sell. Now, what I know, Tom, is that your home was on the market active last week, right?
Yeah.
So you get an acceptable offer last week. You're taking it and moving, right?
I mean, yeah.
Okay. So what's the new plan now that you've decided you're just frustrated and don't want to move? What are you doing?
We just think we need to wait out whatever's going on in the economy. The wrong person got voted in, and I'm just pissed. And I don't know, man. I don't know.
Like I said, I'd be pissed too if my home didn't sell. I hear where you're coming from. So would it be that ridiculous just to set up a quick meeting to show you how we can get your plan A back on track rather than wait things out and get you to where you really want it to be in the first place?
15 minutes?
15 minutes. You can throw me out afterwards. I'll bring a timer.
Guys, give them a big round of applause. It's easy. So, Tommy, closing thoughts. They all should be doing it. Maybe you don't want them to. Closing thoughts?
I'm glad for people to do it because they can come at me in my market. I got no problem with that. But this is such an obvious thing. I mean, when I got turned on to this, my coach at the time, he said, look, they believe in the realtor concept. They hired an agent. Why wouldn't you call them? It's not like a for sale by owner, so it's a lot different. And you're not spending a ton of money here. It's focused marketing on specific properties that were out there. So this changed my business, and I know it can change yours. I wouldn't be up here today if I wasn't talking about this. And like I said, it's $300,000 to $400,000 just over the past 2 years. That's a lot of money.
It is a lot of money. Hey, it's Coach Tom Ferry. Have you been considering hiring a coach? If so, click the link below and check out what we do.